everyone, I've got another video for Vanguard, and this time it is going to be on the update to the Destined one of Supremacy, Lisciafael. Lisciafael was released in Set 4, and she got some new stuff in Set 5. She was an okay deck in 4, but she didn't really have that many cards of her own. She had like herself and a couple other ones. So you had to fill it up with generics before, but now you don't really need to do that, thankfully, after she got a lot more support in 5. So let's get into it. Since we covered Lisciafael quite recently, we'll try to get this over with quickly. We've got, of course, Lisciafael's starter. There, it's got the generic effect that all Overdress and Divine starters have. We've got this, Coolest Glance Valinia, and that's when wrote upon by the grade 2, you draw a card, choose a card from your rear guard or your hand, put it into soul, and then your Vanguard gets an extra 5,000 power for the turn. Very simple. The grade 2, Luticia, yeah, when it's wrote upon by Lisciafael, Cow Blast 1 or Energy Blast 3, draw a card, and Soul Charge 1. Very simple. And then Lisciafael herself. Of course, when this unit attacks while not being boosted, you Energy Blast 3 and put 2 or more rear guards into the Soul, and this unit gets Drive +1 until the end of turn. This unit gets an extra 5,000 power until the end of turn for each card put into the Soul for this cost. So yeah, and then at its Divine Skill, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked a grade 3 or greater unit. If your soul has 6 or more cards, you can Counterblast 1, stand this unit, and it gets Drive -2 until the end of turn. And then until the end of this fight, it gets the effect all of your Vanguards with Lisciafael in their name gets an extra 5,000 power and a critical. You want to do that as fast as possible because this lasts for your turn and your opponent's turn as well. Which means, well, you'll have constant pressure, and you'll have a bit more defense on your opponent's turn as well, as Lisciafael will be 18,000 power base, which is great. Of course, 3 more copies of Lisciafael. That's the standard. We've got this card, Amphi. When it is put in, when placed on rear guard, and if you have Lisciafael as your Vanguard, you Counterblast 1, draw a card, and then this gets 5,000 power till the end of turn. And then when it's put into Soul by Lisciafael, you choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets 5,000 power until the end of turn. So it draws you a card and powers up Lisciafael. One of the new cards here, we've got Competent Director Cepelina? Yeah, Cepelina. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lisciafael in its card name, this unit gets an extra 5,000 power, active on your opponent's turn too, so this is also an 18k base card, technically, since you're always going to be on Lisciafael. When this unit is put from rear guard into Soul by the ability of Lisciafael, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, all of your front row units get 5,000 power till the end of turn. That is great. So it can power up Lisciafael and one of your rear guards that you have left on the field. That one probably being the Restander Albelina. As I said, this is the Restander for Lisciafael. Its first effect makes it a 15,000k base, and then of course, its other effect, which is once per turn, if your Lisciafael attacks, and if your front row has no other rear guards, you Counterblast 1 and restand this unit, and then it gets an extra 10,000 power as well. It is a great card, and it's very good that Lisciafael got a Restander immediately. Again, one of the other new cards is Spring Ignition Tusempia. It's like this cat girl kind of thing. Well, they're almost all cat girls. When this card is put into Soul by your card's ability during your turn doesn't just have to be Lisciafael. Keep that in mind. You can use this in other lyrical decks that involve putting cards into soul. If your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, choose one of your units and it gets an extra 5,000 power until the end of turn. Very simple. We've got the Blitz Order Vibrant Symphony. If an attack hit your Vanguard this turn, choose one of your units being attacked and it gets an extra 3,000 power until the end of turn. Of course, being a Blitz Order, that means you use this during your opponent's turn. The triple rare new card that Lisciafael got in set 5. This is, of course, when this unit is placed on the rear guard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lisciafael in its card name, you can blast 1. Choose a grade 2 or less normal unit with a different card name from this unit without Sentinel from your soul, put it into hand, and then you may soul charge 1. So this gets back stuff that you might soul charge early that you don't want in there, or get stuff back from the soul. So for example, if you have any of the Restander in the soul, if you have this in the soul, really, and any of the other grade 1s, which is great, so that allows you to reuse things. Then its other effect is, oh, and it also replaces the card you take from the soul. So it's essentially, you don't lose out on anything in the soul. And then when this unit boosts, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lisciafael's card name, you Soul Blast 2, and this unit gets an extra 10,000 power until the end of turn. Of course, you're not going to be using that to boost Lisciafael, but you can use this to boost stuff like your Restander or anything else. We have Lisciafael's special booster, but of course, again, you don't want to boost Lisciafael. So this is, during the battle that this unit boosted, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lisciafael in its card name, and it gets an extra 5,000 power. Again, you can use this to boost rear guards and stuff. And it has another effect, where if it's put into the soul by the ability of Lisciafael, you draw a card, and if you did not countercharge that turn, you also countercharge. Again, this is a great card, and it's great that Lisciafael got a countercharger right out the gate in set 4 a bit ago. And then we've got this card here. This is the 13k attacker, 10,000 shield grade 1 for Lisciafael. Very simple card. And again, I'm a personal fan of these ones, especially in decks where you kind of need the power. Of course, 4 PGs of Lyrical. Any of the Lyrical PGs that you want. Lyrical has a bunch of them. Of course, you drop one of them for any of the Elementaria Sanctitudes that you want. Eight non-effect crits. Again, go with any of the critical artworks that you want. These are just the ones that I had available that are not in Chris Reign. 3 of the effect fronts, if you have them, is what I'd use. I unfortunately don't have the effect fronts. However, probably sometime after Christmas, I'll probably try and find the effect fronts for Lyrical. So yeah, that's going to be a little, I guess, New Year's thing for me to do. So, of course, you want to use the effect fronts instead of these ones if you have them. Four of any of the Lyrical heals that you want to use. And of course, lastly, any of the Lyrical Monasterio overtriggers that you have or want to use. And that is it for Lisciafael. I hope you enjoyed this update for her, and then we should also probably, after this, update Impaldio. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one.